Welcome to Shootin The SHT, your go-to podcast for real talk on real estate. Listen to these real estate experts battle it out over hot topics, share some laughs about life, and dive deep into the real estate biz. So whether you're buying, selling, or just here for the Rhode Island scoop, you're in the right place. Now here's your hosts, Nick and JT.
Welcome to the second episode of Shootin The SHT, real estate banter with myself, Nick Slocum, and JT, Mr. Jonathan Tetrault from the Slocum home team. Thank you to our numerous fans. There's probably one or two of them out there tuning in for the second episode, so certainly very excited for them to jump on. Thank you very much.
I hope somebody other than us listened to the last one.
I think we'll definitely improve, and if we have 4 people next time, that'll be what, like a 200% increase or whatever.
4x.
Did you guys hear that? Oh! Wow. Look at the sound effects already.
Upped our game a little since the last one, thanks to producer Nate.
Absolutely. Nate does one podcast and he sends us a laundry list of items that he wants, thousands of dollars. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, hey, we got to make the genius happy. That's what we have to do. So
he looks proud of himself.
He's very proud of himself. So awesome. So let's jump in there, John. What are some of your top takeaways from episode numero uno?
I think we learned a bit on how to produce and create it. I learned that I was right on some things. Not really surprised there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting rolling with number 2.
So cocky, this guy. I mean, it is true. I do have a little tally going on Shootin The SHT bets, and you are off to a quick 1-0 lead on that. I believe that first bet that already has been settled was our predictions on the Patriots coaching situation.
Bye, Bill.
You were half right. I mean, you definitely called Bill leaving, but I think you did also predict that Mike Vrabel would be the next coach.
Did I have Vrabel? I thought I had Mayo.
No, I said Mayo. I think you said Vrabel.
Sure about that?
Pretty sure.
I think we'll have to go back to the tape on that one.
Records. Yep. So, what else? Episode number 1. You felt good about it?
I felt pretty good.
Yeah.
There's always plenty of room to improve.
Absolutely.
I think we're a little more prepared this time.
Always be better, right?
We'll find out.
Absolutely.
Always room for improvement.
That's right. Excellent. So what are you excited for episode number 2, John?
I'm excited to talk some real estate, get into some industry headlines, some trends. We have some fun things with prop bets for the Super Bowl, see what's going on there. And some Rhode Island staples. Let's talk about the Ocean State a bit today.
Cool. I love it. Let's jump in right into industry news, huh? We don't have to get through those awkward introductions like we did last time and talking about ourselves.
You don't want to make fun of my past a little bit more?
Not yet. I'm sure we'll find ways to do that in the future. But for now, anyway, we'll just continue on. So I'm sure those jokes will come with time.
They will.
Excellent. All right, let's jump right in. Realtor.com came out with an article, I believe it was this past week, on 6 reasons why it makes sense to sell a home right now and beat the spring rush. Did you get a chance to read the articles this time, John, and actually come prepared for the podcast?
Was that a shot at me?
It was definitely a shot at you.
I did. I took a look at the articles. Thank you for sending them to me this time.
Absolutely.
So I was able to take a look in
Excellent.
preparation for today.
We are well prepared this week for episode number 2. So let's jump in. 6 reasons why it makes sense to sell. First reason, according to Realtor.com, and this article is already a little dated, mortgage rates are falling.
Yeah.
Talk to me about rates. What's been going on in rates lately, JT?
Rates they're up, they're down, but fairly stable overall. They went up and they went a touch over 7, and then they came back down, so they're hovering just over 7 today. And they're remaining in that ballpark, 7 3/4 ish. And I think we're probably going to see that for the foreseeable future. Fed indicated that they weren't changing anything this time. We'll see what March brings.
Absolutely. Some strong economic news, jobs report certainly contributed to that jump in rates last week. I believe it was the biggest jump in over a year. If I'm not
Biggest
mistaken.
2 day.
Okay. So anyway, they did go back over 7 as of last night. They were like 697 according to Mortgage News Daily. Did they go back up this morning again?
No, I was looking just a little while ago during lunch. Just I think it's like 698.
Okay, cool. So they did say that rates did come down. 2023 had a huge spike, which certainly caused people to hold off on the idea of selling due to the lock-in effect. We'll talk more about the lock-in effect here going forward a little bit. Zillow put out some interesting numbers on that one as well. But that was their first reason, was a stabilizing mortgage rates, less people feeling stuck in their property and feeling more comfortable with where we're at in the general mortgage marketplace. So numero dos, housing inventory is still low. And boy, they could not be more accurate when looking at the Rhode Island marketplace. Talk to me a little bit about housing inventory here in Rhode Island, John.
It's very low. Some buyers have come back out, talking to a few local lenders. Mortgage applications are up. They have been since December. So the buyers are out there. They're scooping up some of the inventory that was there, as well as the new inventory that's coming on. We've seen the bidding wars coming back. We're seeing, we had some in our office this week. I think we had one with 17 offers on a listing. We had 11 offers on a listing. So we're seeing that competition come back, and the inventory continues to go down.
For sure, yeah. One of the listings that I had last week personally was a multifamily. It was absolutely insane. We had an open house, and I got there a little bit before the open house started, and there already was a line out the door. We ended up having over 53 showings in 2 days and 11 offers submitted after just, 2 blocks of showing. So
yeah,
you can certainly see what's going on in the marketplace. Supply and demand is still the strongest driver of what's been going on out there. And as of this morning, there were how many homes on the market here in Rhode Island, John?
There were 671.
Okay,
Am I
somewhere
right
around
there?
that range, yeah. And we were up over 1,000 a few months back, and it's been drastically falling here during the winter market, which is not uncommon. Seasonality does certainly play a factor.
Right.
But 670-ish is just absolutely nowhere near the supply that we need to have anything close to a balanced market.
Yeah.
What would you say here in Rhode Island is a normal balanced market? How many homes on the market across the entire state?
I'd really love to see closer to about 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, normal market 3,000 to 5,000. I remember back in 2008, 9, 10, seeing over 8,000, 9,000 homes on the market, and again, we are in the high 600s as of today. So, absolutely nuts. All right, number 3 on reasons why you should beat the spring rush is more buyers may soon enter the marketplace. And what would the reasons be for that?
There's a few reasons for that. I think spring will naturally bring more people. Seasonality. We're going to be pushing 60 degrees tomorrow. Pretty excited for that. But that could pique the interest of some buyers or sellers. But also, there's a lot of talk that as the year goes on, rates may potentially go down. And the more rates go down, the more buyers are coming out, and they're going to try to take advantage of that. So, beat the competition.
Realtor.com says, with more buyers, will likely come more homes on the market, which will inevitably lead to increased competition amongst sellers. So they're suggesting listing now. You might be able to enjoy less competition. Buyers who may already be frustrated have made a handful of offers that have gotten rejected and be able to capitalize before more inventory comes on the market. Moving on to number 4, home sellers won't have to work as hard. Why won't they have to work as hard?
Well, it sounds like people just have more money to spend in the early parts of the year. Maybe some bonuses from the prior year or tax refunds. So cash on hand to maybe go a little above and beyond what they would typically do with an offer.
Fantastic. Number 5, sellers who also plan to buy can beat the crowds.
Absolutely. You're going to get more competition. Those buyers we were talking about coming out as the year goes on in the spring. If you want to list, but you also need to buy, get out there ahead of the competition.
It's a win-win. Love it. Number 6, finally, personal reasons to sell often trump market uncertainty.
For sure. Yeah. People buy and sell homes every day for personal reasons. They could be relocating. There could be life changes personally. So many reasons why people buy and sell.
Absolutely. Moving on to topic number 2, the top 25 best places to live in the Northeast. And I got to say, JT, you knew this was coming. Do you know what I didn't see on the list?
You're going to tell me Lincoln's not on the list?
I did not see Lincoln right now on the list. And I love Lincoln. It's a beautiful part of our North Country. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But I did not see Lincoln on this list. So let's go through the
That's
top
right.
25 best
Every news source
places.
makes an error here and there.
I'm not going to debate that for sure. But in this case, I got to say, I believe they are spot on. Let's look at the top 25.
Well, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Okay. Numero uno. I don't know why I'm talking in Spanish so much today, but that's okay. Clifton, New Jersey. Clearly, I don't know anything about Clifton. We're going to move on. But number 2 in the top 25 places to live in the Northeast, our very own home of this office, home of myself, and Warwick, Rhode Island. So coming in the number 2 spot, the top 25 places to live.
outstanding. Not surprised. Very excited to see that.
I've been trying to convince you to move to Warwick, Rhode Island for years now. Eventually, you might see the light. I figured this livability article could certainly point you or move you in that direction.
Perhaps.
Okay. Anyway, so Warwick, Rhode Island. What are some of the top reasons why you think Warwick, Rhode Island falls into the number 2 spot?
Centrally located in the state, so you can get to Providence quickly. You can get to beautiful South County quickly to go to the beach. Warwick itself also has miles of coastline.
I believe the article said 40 miles of glorious coastline.
Good food. And right here in the city where the airport is located, the airport is not in Providence. The airport is in Warwick.
It is true. I actually had this conversation yesterday. I was away on a short business trip, and we were talking about the airport. It came up for some reason. Somebody goes, there's an airport in Warwick? I go, yeah, when you land, they say Providence, but it is certainly not Providence. It is Warwick, Rhode Island, the number 2 spot that you could possibly live in the entire Northeast, according to livability. All right, so 40 miles of glorious coastline, coastal dreams, everything they're made of. Clam chowder stops is another one. What are some of your favorite clam chowder stops in Warwick, Rhode Island, John?
I'd have to say my favorite is probably Iggy's.
Iggy's is fantastic.
But really, so many restaurants you go to, even if they're not, the staples like in Iggy's, you're likely to find good clam chowder. When you go to a place for lunch, dinner, sit at a bar.
Crow's Nest. We often do
Crow's Nest.
half a lobster roll and a cup of chowder.
Absolutely.
Crow's Nest. Absolutely.
Yeah. Add some clam cakes.
Great staple.
Yeah.
Excellent. So just outside of Providence. Did you ever see that movie, John? Outside of Providence?
No.
No?
Nope.
Nate Dogg definitely has, our buddy over there. It's a classic. You'll have to watch that and report back for our next podcast.
He was probably involved in the filming.
Probably. We are amongst royalty here. All right, moving on. Not only did Warwick rank on this list at number 2, but lo and behold, the number 3 spot was occupied by our lovely neighbor to the immediate north, Cranston.
Look at us having 2 of the top 3.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Love it. Pretty nice.
All right, moving on.
All right, Cranston, Rhode Island. Why are some reasons why you believe Cranston, Rhode Island would fall into the number 3 spot?
Similar to Warwick in location, it's central in the state. Also, didn't mention on the last one, but not just between Providence and South County, but also very conveniently close to Boston, between Boston and New York. Cranston, a lot of history there, which is outstanding as well. They also have coastline and fantastic restaurants as well.
What is the history of Cranston? Let's talk about that.
We have a lovely event coming up. We're talking about getting a float in the parade, and that is the Gatsby Days Parade.
That's actually Warwick.
That is Warwick. However, it
ends
goes,
in Cranston, right? Yeah.
That's where I was going there, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, buddy. I would say 90% of it's in Warwick, though.
Where does it end?
Cranston.
All right.
Perfect. All right, so Cranston's neighborhoods, they say, reflect various aspects of the city and plenty different places to choose from. Edgewood has many Victorian-era homes, tree-lined streets, and the Edgewood Yacht Club Patuxent Village, which is a quaint seaside enclave and is one of the oldest communities in New England.
What happens in Patuxent Village?
The end of the Gatsby Days Parade, Basta,
that's right.
Revolution.
That's right.
I mean, Fellini's, O'Rourke's.
Great spots.
Great spots, absolutely. Good spot. All right, so Warwick number 2, Cranston number 3. Anything else jump out to you on the top 25 best places to live in the Northeast?
Well, now you're going to make me scroll.
We got Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jersey City, Norwalk, Connecticut.
Cheektowaga, New York was number 9. Bet you weren't expecting that one there.
How'd you know how to pronounce that? I would have been afraid to say it.
You struggle on those words, don't you?
Sometimes, absolutely. I am nowhere near as perfect as you are.
Going through, there's a good amount of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, pretty consistent in there. Anything else jump out to you there, Nicholas?
I mean, Worcester ranked number 11. How is Lincoln, Rhode Island, not on here?
I think they're focusing on cities here.
All right, great. Top 25 spots to live in the Northeast. So it's quite the honor. I'm glad that we had such great representation there, especially in the top 3.
Absolutely.
And we've got one spot to strive for. Hopefully Warwick takes it home next year in the top dog spot.
We'll try to help spread the word.
We certainly will. All right, moving on to our next topic for industry news. We've got the Providence Metro median rent rising faster than the rest of the country.
Yeah, I saw that 21.55% year over year in December to a whopping $2,752 per month for the median rent.
It's pretty wild.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That is significantly higher than a number of people probably have for their mortgage payment.
absolutely. And I did see a stat. I'm not sure if it was in this article. I don't see it here. But if somebody had a $3,000 a month budget for their monthly expenses for housing, with the recent drop in mortgage rates, this was before this week's slight increase, but with the recent drop, I believe that person with that $3,000 a month budget gained about $40,000 in buying power. So, I mean, if somebody's spending close to $3,000 a month on rent, plan on being here for a while, you can still get great opportunities out there to actually build some equity, get into home ownership.
For sure.
Yeah.
You could do a lot with $40,000 as far as increasing your budget.
Oh, for sure. Of the 50 metropolitan areas studied, only 8 had a higher median rent in December than Providence. New York at $41.63. San Jose at $37.95. Our good friends up north, Boston at $36.96. San Fran at $36.31. LA, San Diego, Miami, and Seattle all ranking higher.
Some big cities, Providence right up there.
For sure. All right, that wraps up the third topic in our industry news. Let's take a break from industry news now and jump into another direction.
Rhode Island staples.
Yes. Let's play a little overrated, underrated game here, all right?
All right.
All right. Rhode Island staples, hot wieners.
Underrated.
Gaggers, definitely underrated.
Underrated. People who aren't from Rhode Island are like, what the hell is a hot wiener? You call these things gaggers? You're disgusting.
An absolute delicacy.
They just don't understand.
They're so delicious.
If they're disgusted or don't understand, they're missing out.
I'm going to volunteer my body for future science research because in high school, as a senior at Bishop Hendricken High School, we had senior privileges and we were allowed to leave for lunch every day. And me and a couple of my good friends, every single day, went and got hot wieners my entire senior year. We would show up to Nikki's Hot Wieners, no longer open in business, unfortunately. But
R.I.P.
No, he's still alive. He's good and well. He's actually...
I'm into the wiener train. No.
Oh, he actually is now working at another one of these Rhode Island stables that we'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, we went every single day for hot wieners.
That's over the top.
I did have to take a break for a couple of years on the hot wiener consumption, but we recently have.
Did you check your cholesterol?
Everything looks good. Doctor says I am, an absolute
You're a
picture of
specimen.
health.
Yeah.
I am. But anyway, we would show up. He knew what time of day we were coming every day. We'd have 3 hot wieners, a wiener special with a rally cola on the table every single day.
The rally cola.
A rally cola. It was fantastic, but definitely underrated. Absolute delicacy. And that leans into the next Rhode Island staple, a little bit of coffee milk.
So underrated.
I'm going to go with overrated.
Really?
I love it. If I had to choose a flavored milk to drink, it would be coffee milk.
Okay,
I'm just not a big milk guy anymore.
I like it. So
Yeah?
I don't drink a ton of milk either, but if I'm going to have milk, my goodness, give me coffee milk.
I can't disagree with you there. I
Tell you, my wife is from upstate New York, and on our second date, I was trying to explain to her some of the great Rhode Island things. So it was December, took her around to show her some Christmas lights, packed a cooler with coffee milk in the car.
Wow, it's a
Blew her
interesting
mind.
play.
Blew her mind.
Hey, babe, I hope we hit it off. Here's some coffee milk.
I'm a romantic. What can I say?
It's a strange move, but hey, it worked, I guess. You guys are happily married now.
That's it.
So yeah, coffee milk is for those who, if by chance anybody outside of Rhode Island is listening to this episode, they make coffee syrup similar to chocolate syrup that you can add to milk, and it is absolutely delicious.
Yeah. Some people get confused and they think coffee milk is going to taste like coffee. The best way I can explain it to someone is it's more like coffee ice cream.
100%. 100%. I might be going back more to underrated at this
There you
point.
go.
It's good. It's
I'm going to
good.
pat myself on the back for talking you into that one.
Thank you. Let's before we move on to the next one, coffee milk with wieners. Is that the way to go?
Oh, yeah.
See, I like it for like the nostalgia. If you got somebody out of town, you got to do it. But if I'm going with you to grab hot wieners, on a random day, I'm not getting coffee milk with the wieners.
What are you getting?
Rally cola.
Rally
Billy.
cola. Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
All right, next one. Rhode Island clam chowder.
This is a tough one. You can have some clam chowder that blows your mind. You can have something maybe like, it's not the best, but people are going to come at me with pitchforks. I'm going to say overrated.
Definitely underrated. Rhode Island clam chowder is so good.
It was hard to say because I love it, but I feel like people just put up billboards saying it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I love it. I really do. But I think it might be overhyped.
What's the difference between Rhode Island clam chowder and New England clam chowder or Manhattan clam chowder?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. You tell me.
You don't know? You're just spitting out these random takes without even knowing the difference?
I thought I did, but now you're throwing Manhattan in here on me.
Manhattan's like a red base, like a tomato base.
Okay, I was going to say white versus red.
Well, no. Rhode Island is clear. You're not even qualified to vote on this.
I always go white.
No, you got to go Rhode Island.
No.
You know, I'm actually a big fan, both with wieners and with clam chowder, of adding hot sauce. So I put hot sauce on top of my wieners, and I also put hot sauce into my chowder. And I got to say, Tabasco sauce into a clear broth clam chowder to die for.
I don't think that means anything, though, because you put hot sauce on everything.
I am addicted to
You
hot sauce.
probably wake up in the morning and put hot sauce on your toothbrush.
No, I put them on my eggs, though. I do a habanero-based hot sauce on the eggs. Definitely the way to go.
Okay.
So good. So good. All right. Hot sauce. We'll talk about hot sauce in another episode.
All right.
All right. Moving on. Dell's Lemonade.
I like it, but I think it's overrated.
I'm with you on this one 100%. Definitely overrated. I just don't, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I'll have one or two a year, but
Yeah, I'm not going out of my way for it.
no chance. And you see these, you know, especially these young kids, we're kind of too old for this nowadays, but like throwing vodka and stuff in there. Are you a vodka and Dell's kind of guy?
No.
It gets all watery and gross. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Not my jam. But hey, if that's your thing,
Yeah. Live it up.
respect.
Yeah.
All right. That was a quick one. And that's probably one of the biggest Rhode Island staples. And we just both threw under the bus.
I said I like it, but
Yeah.
definitely overrated.
No Dell's Lemonade owner is ever going to sell their house with you. That is for sure.
That's all right.
All right. On to the next. Twin Oaks.
Oh. I'm going to have to go overrated, and I will explain myself because I feel like you're going to lunge across the table at me right now.
I feel like I want to punch you in the face.
Twin Oaks is one of those things where some people have never heard of Twin Oaks, but the real Okies, the ones that I feel
Is
like...
that a thing?
I'm going to call it the Twin Oaks groupies.
That's
That-
actually the Coventry mascot, but
That's an ochre.
is it?
Yes.
Is it okay.
Uh,
Apologies, Coventry.
but the... I'm going to call them Okies, the real Twin Oaks groupies.
Okay.
They hype it up like it is the greatest thing in the world, this hidden secret. And it is a hidden secret. It's like in the back of a residential neighborhood.
It's off the beaten path, no doubt.
But these people build it up like it is the only place you can ever eat. It's the best thing in the world. Love it. Love the calamari.
Calamari
love the
sauce
veal
is
parm.
fantastic. Oh my
I love it
goodness.
all. But
The drinks too.
The way
good.
the
everything.
groupies-
the whole experience. I mean, you got to go. You got to wait. No reservations. You got Nikki, the guy from Nikki Wieners, as the maitre d'. Is that the right word? The host.
I know he greets you there because he remembers you from
my
putting
guy.
out your wieners in high
My
school.
guy.
I feel like they overhype it.
Nope, wrong. You should probably move to Massachusetts. Moving on. Next, Rhode Island staple, Wright's Chicken Farm.
Overrated.
With you there. With you there.
Now, before we move on from Wright's Chicken Farm, I feel like you have committed a Rhode Island sin here.
What's that?
You put Wright's Chicken Farm on this list, and you did not put Wright's Dairy Farm on the
because
list.
you're a northerner. I don't go north of Providence unless I have to.
I could go out this door and give you a handful of people who live south of Providence that would die for pastries from Wright's Dairy Farm.
I'm not a big sweets guy. I'm like a meat and potatoes kind of guy. It's just my jam. You know,
You're really just a hot sauce and Tito's kind of guy.
I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to just roll with, veal palm, calamari, hot
Nate's rubbing his
sauce,
belly
hot
over there.
wieners. Thank God we just had lunch, which was a good lunch from Dee's Deli.
Dee's Deli. Shout out Dee's Deli.
Overrated, underrated.
I'll give them under because I actually never heard of them until today. I'll give them a shout out, although Dee's Deli, please open your minds to toasting the grinders.
Nope. If you don't like the way they make them, don't order from Dee's because I like that. Don't mess with the great thing. Just let them make them how they want to make them. And if you don't like it, then move on.
Soup Nazi Nick.
That's it. I mean, I just think they got their way of making sandwiches, which are
All right.
delicious. It's a delicious way.
Yeah.
Just don't mess with a good thing.
So anyway, shout out Dee's Deli and shout out Wright's Dairy Farm. Sorry, Nick left you off the list. I go there for every family gathering.
Okay. Well, let's circle back to Wright's Chicken Farm.
I said overrated.
I know. Why? Give me some context.
People rave about it, and I feel like it's just rushed, meh, chicken and fries.
I say overrated too, but I'm not saying that it's a place that's not worth visiting. I did go last year sometime with my family. I had a great time. It was nice. Chicken was decent. My favorite, French fries. French fries are good there. Really good French fries. Yeah. Back to it. City of Providence, the capital. Overrated or underrated?
I'm going to go with underrated. I feel like Providence doesn't get much love because it's sandwiched in between Boston, New York, and I feel like, Providence is the capital. It certainly gets mentioned, but I feel like when a lot of people come to visit, they'll go to Newport, especially in the summer. I feel like poor Providence gets left out.
I'm with you. Underrated. Great city, great food. It's easy to get around. It's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't get anxiety the minute I go there. I'm not a city guy. But I do like New York City. I could go in there with the family, so I guess I'm kind of a hypocrite on that one.
Yeah.
But literally, no anxiety. Great spot. Federal Hill. I mean, all the
Amazing
Italian.
food.
Absolutely. I mean, we could go on for days. We could do 3 podcasts on all the great restaurants in Providence.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm going underrated.
Agreed.
Block Island. Have you ever been to Block Island before?
I have. I'm just trying to think. I feel like I haven't heard. I don't think people go crazy raving about Block Island, so I certainly don't think it's overrated. I'm going to go underrated.
I'm going to go highly underrated.
Yeah.
Great spot. Best beaches in the state, bar none.
Yeah.
Absolute great time.
Yeah.
Wonderful spot. One of my favorite places on earth. So the only thing that would make it even better, push it over that top, golf course. How do you even know golf course? I mean, come on.
I think you should buy a house there with a ton of land, put a little 3-hole course in.
We're gonna have to sell a lot more real estate.
Yeah, I don't think you can fit 9, but I bet you could put a little 3-hole course.
Maybe
if
one
you
day.
buy a big enough house.
Goals. All right. Moving along. Matunic Oyster Bar.
I think I'm gonna have to go underrated because I don't think a lot of people who aren't from here really know about it. So I'm gonna say underrated.
I'm gonna go a different route here
Oh.
and say properly rated.
Whoa.
Why could I not do that?
This is over or under. Now you're throwing in properly?
You hear people about like a summertime restaurant spot to go to. It's got to be one of the top 2 or 3 in the state, and I think it's deservedly so.
Okay.
It's delicious. The oysters are fantastic. You an oyster guy?
Oh, yeah.
Love oysters.
Yeah.
And they have the perfect sized oysters. Perfectly sized oysters. Do we have an English grammar major around here? Yes.
The most perfectly sized oysters.
Yes. They are just awesome. You can just toss them back all day long. Absolutely love them. They're delicious. Lobster rolls are fantastic. So many entrees are so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Staple.
Staple of Rhode Island. And hey, tell me about your little time during your HGTV filming. You went down to Matunic Oyster. No, you didn't.
I did not, but
right?
Amon and Kevin did. Shout out Amon and Kevin. They were the buyers on the show. And they got to go out on the oyster farm.
Yeah, we should have the part of the subtitle of this podcast saying, with HGTV's own John Tetrault, 2-time appearance, 2 appearances on HGTV. Just absolutely killed it.
I don't think that's necessary.
All right, next one, Stuffies.
Stuffies. I love Stuffies. I'm going to say underrated.
I'm going overrated. A lot of times it's just like stuffing and, I don't know, they burn really easily. And
I think you're getting them in the wrong spot.
okay, maybe. Prove me wrong.
Shout out Daily Catch in Smithfield.
Daily Catch in Smithfield. Let's try it. Let's, next time you invite me over to your lovely abode up in Lincoln,
I'll grab some Stuffies. Whip them up for you.
I'm going to say overrated. Not my favorite Rhode Island food by any stretch.
All right.
Next one, Johnny Cakes.
Nate, cue a sound here. What the hell's a Johnny Cake?
You don't know your name is John. You live in Rhode Island. You don't know what is Johnny Cake?
Is this Johnny's clam cakes?
No. A Johnny Cake, Mr. John, I believe is a cornmeal-based pancake. Let's Google that right now.
It's Native American in origin, I believe.
Nathan David Walker, our producer, is letting us know that it is Native American or of Native American origin.
Never had them.
It's
Cornmeal-based Johnny Cakes. They're famous for Rhode Island food.
I don't think I've ever had one.
I'm definitely going overrated. Let's see. They say Johnny Cake, also known as a journey cake, Johnny bread, hoe cake, shoney cake, or spider cornbread, is a cornmeal flatbread, a type of batter bread. An early American staple food is prepared on the Atlantic coast from Newfoundland to Jamaica. The food originates from the indigenous people of North America.
Maybe I'll have to try them because I do love cornbread and corn muffins.
You might like them.
So perhaps I'll have to try them.
I mean, with the name being John, living in Rhode Island, I'm kind of disappointed you haven't already.
John loves Johnny Cakes.
All right.
I'll have to try them.
Maybe we should have a stack of Johnny cakes for our next episode. And we can just sit here
Just
and
sitting
have
here
some-
eating Johnny cakes.
Love it. All right, next one, pizza strips.
Underrated.
Oh,
I get pizza strips for, first of all, it's bakery pizza.
you and my 7-year-old eat pizza strips consistently.
It's bakery pizza. I get them for every family gathering, every holiday. People go crazy. We have family come from out of state. They look forward to it. They love it. They take the leftovers in the box because this is their only chance to get it. I know Dave Portnoy recently came and was not a fan. He missed the boat. I think he was just grumpy that day. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I would agree. I think his rating was a little harsh. What do you give, 5.8?
I don't know. I couldn't even watch.
I'm pretty sure it was a 5.8. I'd give it a 6.1. I'd go a little bit higher than that. But
Well, I mean, if you're comparing it to, real pizza and some of the upper ratings, it's hard to put bakery pizza on that scale.
it just
but
reminds me, it's like kids' birthday party food. It's just not what I'm going to seek out.
people call
anywhere.
it party pizza.
I know. I think it's kids' party pizza. Like, at some point, you got to grow up a little bit and like get real pizza. No?
You're wrong.
Okay. I like being split on a topic. That's great. All right, next one. Rhode Island style calamari.
Underrated.
Underrated. 100%.
Love it.
I think calamari is my go-to appetizer every time I go out to eat.
Every
It is-
time I'm in a restaurant, lunch, dinner,
Yes.
I wish they had it for breakfast. Really, I'd put some hot sauce on it and knock it back.
Honestly, if I had to guess on the amount of times I go out to eat and we get an appetizer, the amount of time that we order calamari has to be like 90%.
I think I'm over 90%.
I might be too.
Yeah.
And my kids love it too, which is crazy. It's like no, not kids' food, but like the little girls, they
Yeah.
like it too. Yeah.
If we're out for dinner and Jen throws out an idea like, "Oh, you want to get this for an appetizer?" I'm like, "You mean with calamari, right?"
Yeah, it's like a given.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what the Rhode Island style calamari is?
Rhode Island breaded marinara sauce.
No, I think you added some cherry peppers into it. I think that's technically what makes it Rhode Island.
Oh, it's just
style.
Rhode Island. I always get the peppers. I love them.
Peppers are great. I like. You know what I really like when they fry the peppers, like put a little
In
batter
the calamari
Oh,
batter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Right
Yeah,
there.
but I always love. I can't do the peppers in the marinara.
Yep.
But I'll go back and forth. I'll dip some calamari in the marinara, and then I'll take some calamari and just stab a few peppers and have those.
Circling back to Twin Oaks.
How'd you get me on there?
I love the yellow sauce for their calamari at Twin Oaks. That is good stuff right there too. I could just dip the bread all up in that. Oh my god, it's so good.
Can you put my voice in that disguised voice for a second?
All right, we got two left, and we're gonna move on. Capital Grill.
I don't want this to come across the wrong way because I absolutely love Capitol Grill.
You know, the first Capital Grill ever was in Providence, Rhode Island, right?
Just relax for a second, will you? I love Capitol Grill. I go there fairly regularly. My wife loves it for dinner and do a lot of lunch meetings there. But everyone talks about it. It's not a Rhode Island only thing. I might have to go overrated.
I'm going properly rated. It's delicious.
Properly, you doing this properly rated. That's not fair.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm not going to
I'll give
bash
it
them. I'm not going to say it deserves to be higher because
I'll give it a properly rated.
if you want to go for like a high-end steakhouse dinner, it's just
Great. It's fantastic.
I mean, that's the bar.
I
They
mean, we're
set the bar.
lucky we do have some good options around here.
Yes.
I'll give it properly.
I like it. Iggy's and Aunt Carrie's. I put these together. I think it's kind of a similar experience when you're specifically talking about the Iggy's in South County as opposed to the Iggy's in Warwick. Let's just look at Iggy's and Aunt Carrie's in South County. Tell me about that. Are we looking overrated or underrated?
Oh boy, people aren't gonna like this. I think I have to say overrated.
Wow.
I love them, but you know what the problem is? Why I think I'm saying overrated?
Why is that?
I'll say properly rated.
Okay.
And the reason why, because I love them both, but I won't say underrated, is because people talk like it's the only options for clam cakes and chowder, and there's so many good places you can get clam cakes and chowder.
I couldn't agree more. I'm going to actually go on both sides of the fence here. I'm going to say overrated on the food, and it's very good food. I would eat it any day of the week. But there's so many good places for clam chowder and you know, doughboys and clam cakes and all that fun stuff. I'm going to say underrated on the what do I say? I said underrated on the food. I'm going to say
You said overrated.
overrated on the food. Underrated on the experience. Like that's just like part of the experience. Like that's part of the lure. That's like you want to go down to South County, you go down to the beaches,
Right
you
by
wanna
the
grab
water.
something down. Yeah,
The experience is one of a kind.
absolutely.
I'll give you that.
All right, well, wrapping up Rhode Island staples there. Let's go back into real estate. Hey, that's what we do, right? Let's see.
Didn't we do these colors last time?
No, these are new. These are the
Oh,
2024
boy.
colors of the year.
All right.
From various companies. So let's talk about the colors of the year. Before we get into the colors of the year, let's talk about a story from a few years back. You know, remember when one of our past marketing employees put out a video on TikTok reviewing the colors of the year? It was fantastic. She was great. And she put out this video and she mispronounced one of the colors. And the comment section went absolutely insane.
It went off the charts one day.
Yeah. I was actually on the golf course when it was when I was like, what is going on right now? It was wild.
Yeah.
And it just I think we got like 70,000 views on that video.
I think it might have been 6 figures.
Wow, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. So anyway, let's talk about these colors. Hopefully we would pronounce them all correctly. First one, just like your face, peach fuzz. What do you think about that there, JT?
I don't think that's... Is that the actual name?
Yeah, Pantone peach fuzz.
All right, peach fuzz. I'm not a fan of that.
Would you paint your living room peach fuzz?
Absolutely not.
I got to agree with you here. I don't understand what Pantone is thinking on this one. It reminds me of like my early 1990s like off pink kitchen cabinets. It's just, and I replaced those recently, but that's with the white kitchen, which we talked about last time.
Mm-hmm.
That is now already out
Out
of
of
style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. Peach fuzz.
No.
We're both giving big thumbs
No
down
go.
on peach fuzz. So next one, Sherwin-Williams Upward.
Upward? I like upward.
I do too.
I would paint a room upward.
All right, so I would say I have a lot of colors in my house pretty similar to this Upward. I mean, it looks like a nice little light sky blue.
0 to 10. What do you give upward?
9-1.
9-1.
9-1. That's a great color.
Wow.
Great color. Similar to the wall behind me, but a little bit softer, which is what you want in your house. You don't want something so bold. You want something soft and relaxing.
Makes the room feel bigger.
100%. Next one. This is an interesting one. Bear coming in with the cracked pepper.
Cracked pepper. I like cracked pepper. It can't be a whole house.
No.
But like it you know, like they have this room that they have featured on here.
It's an aggressive move.
I like it.
gotta
It's
say.
aggressive, but I like it. I respect it. I'd probably lean more towards an accent wall. But I like it.
I think one of the articles I read recently is the accent walls also out. That is like screaming last decade.
They can't be as out as your kitchen.
My kitchen is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Thank you.
But it's going out of style.
Oh, all right. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say the take on white kitchens being out of style, way overplayed. If I'm with buyers out there in the marketplace, everyone wants white kitchens. I don't care what HGTV says. Love you, HGTV.
That's good.
All right. Cracked pepper. Moving on. Benjamin Moore coming in with a Blue Nova.
Blue Nova.
Blue Nova. Color of the year. What do we got from Benjamin Moore? Rate it.
6.5.
6.5? That's a nice blue.
It's nice, but I feel like it's lost in the middle. It's too dark to be like a nice light neutral that you can really spread around. It's a little light for the accent walls that are going out of style.
I'm going 8-1.
8-1.
8-1. I like that color. That's
My
a nice
goodness.
color.
Let's get up a poll on Instagram. Show some of these colors. See who people side with here.
That is a great one. Yeah, great.
I want to know what the
there.
people think.
All right. PPG Glidden? I don't know who that is, but apparently they have a color of the year too called Limitless. Is that Russell Wilson's color? Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna merge these two together, and Russell Wilson and Limitless both get a 3.
You don't like the soft yellow?
I don't.
I'm gonna go with a 6-7 on that one.
6.
I don't mind it. I kind of like yellow in certain circumstances, but yeah, it's not my favorite color. HGTV, Mr. HGTV here, Mr. House Hunters, Beachfront Bargain Hunt, and Lakefront Renovation. Their color of the year, persimmon.
I don't want to be Mr. Negativity over here, but
But
I'm
you are.
not a fan of this one either.
It's what would you call that?
Peach?
Looks more peach to me than
Yeah,
persimmon.
yeah.
When I think persimmon golf clubs. This is before your time. I mean, you were born in the 90s.
I was born in the 80s, pal.
What year?
89, just like T
you,
Swift.
You and Tay-Tay. All right, persimmon was a wooden golf club. So I don't know. I think of a darker brown when I think persimmon.
All right.
So I'm gonna go. That's not my favorite color at all.
No.
If I walked into a house that had persimmon on the walls, I might encourage them to paint it something more.
You would feel like it was
neutral.
dated.
I would. Very similar to the other one, the peach fuzz.
I expect to see like a shaggy rug or something with this.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Not my jam. C2, whoever C2 is, they came out with one called Thermal. I don't know about you, but when I think thermal, I don't think sky blue.
No, but I don't think they're looking sky blue here. I think they're thinking like a.
Am I colorblind? Are we looking at the same picture?
You have in the past had signs of being colorblind, but I see what you're saying here. But I think this is more of a nautical, icy kind of blue.
Yes.
Um,
The White Walkers would be hanging out in this kitchen. Right?
I'm liking
yes,
it.
Absolutely.
I'm liking it.
I don't mind it. I don't love it on the kitchen cabinets like they show here. And apologies to anybody actually listening to the podcast versus watching on YouTube, where you can actually see these colors. This must be very entertaining listening. But anyway,
Go check out our stories. We're gonna put a poll up, see what the people think of these colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give thermal a 7.
6-2. All right, Don Edwards, Skipping Stone. A lot of similar colors here.
Yeah, this is just a little darker. I feel like than thermal.
6-1.
7-2.
All right, Valspar, Renew Blue. Very similar again. We're just moving along with these.
5-8.
Yeah.
It's too like blue green.
Yeah, 5-9.
It's like one of those old refrigerators.
All right, Ironside, Dutch Boy Paints. That's quite the name for a color.
You know where I think this paint is best?
What's that?
On the ceiling.
That would be nice. That is
Like
nice.
a ceiling in an office.
Like you can see it in this picture
Yeah.
here. They have it on the ceiling. I like that. I don't
Yeah.
know about how I like the ceiling and the walls being the same color.
Yeah.
Graham and
We
Brown.
didn't rate it.
Oh, I got to rate that. I'm gonna go 7-1.
6-4.
Okay. Graham and Brown. You pronounce this one.
Graham and Brown. Veritas.
Veritas. Veritas.
Too many eyes.
All right.
You're adding eyes.
Yeah, I just like to throw in letters there.
It's
once in a while.
Veritas.
Okay. Veritas.
Or Veritas. We'll say
Maybe we're gonna go
we'll say
viral.
Veritas.
That video was saying
Let us
that.
know in the comments. What is this? Try to tell us how to pronounce it.
All right.
It's
It's like an olive green.
I'm gonna give it like a 4.5.
Yeah, 5-4.
It's pretty bad.
All right. That wraps up our colors of the year. Your favorite color of the year, John?
Let's see here. There were some nice blues.
Peach fuzz, right?
Definitely not peach fuzz.
I'm upward.
If I was gonna say if I'm painting, my whole house or an entire room, I think I have to go upward.
I agree.
But
we're on the same page.
I
there.
would take touches of the other ones.
Okay.
Next topic. Let's talk about all the single ladies
All
and
the
what they're
single ladies?
up to.
We thought we were gonna jam on Beyonce there for a minute.
Go ahead, you take it away.
Nope.
Best voice in the basement.
What do
you
I
say?
thought we were gonna have a little duet there.
I mean, you proclaim that you are a combination of Fergie and Jesus,
I
so
think
I
this
thought
came
you
up
would take
last
it
week
away.
or a couple whenever we filmed the last one.
All right, so single women owning more homes than single men, and the gap is widening.
It actually says in here, despite, which is not, this is absolutely wrong in 2024, that their average weekly earnings are only 83% of men's, which is absolute BS and should be nowhere near this in this day and age. Thank you very much. Absolutely nuts. They are outpacing men in buying homes, and I can't. It's so true. How many single guys do you sell houses to versus single ladies?
I would say on paper, it's probably equal. But when there's a guy, there's usually a female involved. I feel like guys aren't just going out, buying a house and doing it all on their own, trailblazing. Where plenty of girls have just, I'm solo, I'm buying a house, I'm a boss. I say good for them, smart, building equity for their future.
Quick aside, not really an aside. Met my wife because she was a single lady buying a home.
Yeah.
That's right. Shout out to Phil Slocum for being fantastic at holding open houses. Two of us were holding open houses at the same time. Him at one property in Warwick that was similarly priced to a property that I was holding open at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me up and he's like, "Hey, this really cute girl just came by my open house. We seemed to hit it off. I had a great conversation. I think there's a good chance we're going to work with her, help her find a home. I sent her over to your property. Hopefully you'll meet it. You guys will hit it off too." And I was very excited. I was like, "Oh, well, that's great. It's going to be a fun open house, a lot more entertaining than usual." And I saw her pull up to the front. She quickly drove away. Did not like the curb appeal of that property, apparently. And lo and behold, he actually did continue that relationship as her realtor. And I conveniently covered for him many times.
He was unavailable for.
He was unavailable quite a lot during that transaction.
Weird.
And it was weird how that worked out. And lo and behold, shortly thereafter her closing, we ended up dating and getting married and having a wonderful relationship. So
What did she say to Phil right after the closing?
There's some discrepancy on this, but something along the lines
Really?
of I think I'm going out. We're gonna have dinner with your son. To
I hope
celebrate.
your son's taking me out to dinner. That's the story I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know. She likes
Conflicting
to-
reports.
Yeah. I don't
Wow.
know.
All right.
Apparently, it may have been discussed. I don't know.
All right.
Those are all just semantics. All right. Anyway, back to the story at hand. Single ladies, single women living by themselves. So single women outpace single men buying homes in 47 out of 50 states. Single women in the U.S. own 10.95 million homes, 2.71 million more than homes owned by single men. This is when you bring the color.
I say, way to go, ladies.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Way to go. All right. Let's see. States with the highest share of single women homeowners: Delaware, Louisiana, Mississippi. Rhode Island's not on that list. Not on that top 10. It's too bad.
We need to step it up.
We do. And states with the highest shares of single men: New Mexico, North Dakota, and Alaska.
Interesting.
You watching Night Country, True Detective?
No.
Kind of creepy. Caught up with it the other day. But yeah, talk about... it's in Alaska, all right?
Oh, here we go.
Tangent alert. It's in Alaska, all right? And this fall is like, I don't know, around Christmas time, shortly thereafter, whatever.
Yeah.
They go 66 days, I believe. I did a little bit of research on this. 66 days without seeing the sun.
Yeah.
I think
It stays dark.
I got anxiety just thinking about that.
Yeah. It'd be tough.
Yeah.
That's a long
That's
2
a
months.
long
It's
stretch.
2+ months.
Yeah.
The nice thing is in the summer, it doesn't get dark.
That's true too, but like how do you go to bed? Like I don't know. I couldn't live like that.
I
couldn't do
suspect
it.
they have some room darkening shades.
Probably, I don't know. Just I think my body would have a hard time
It would
adjusting.
be really challenging in the
It
winter.
would.
I'm with you.
I would. All right. States with the widest gender gaps among single homeowners. Delaware, numero uno. There, I did it again. Maryland and Massachusetts. Massachusetts, number 3.
Yeah.
4.97 PPTS. Do you know what that stands for?
No.
I don't either. Apparently, it's 13.18% by single women and 8.21% by single men. Next, let's go into the portal wars. We've got Homes.com investing over $1 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of coin.
Yeah. Bold
Imagine
prediction.
spending $1 billion.
Can you imagine having $1 billion to spend?
I'd like to imagine it, but
Right.
I don't. No, not realistic. Not realistic.
I would bold prediction.
Yes.
Buckle up. I think you're going to see this on Sunday night. Super
I would
Bowl.
say so. It's already been confirmed. We didn't have a hot take there, JT.
Just saying.
4 Super Bowl commercials. Homes.com. They are claiming they have moved into the number 2 spot ahead of Realtor.com in the portals, with Zillow remaining numero. I did it. I gotta stop doing that today for some reason.
What is wrong with you?
You know when you listen to yourself, like the first episode, I'm like, oh, I said that thing over and over again, and it kind of it's rubbed me the
So
wrong
you
way.
decided today you just do Spanish over and
I
over
don't
again?
know why. I mean, I probably took Spanish 3 times in high school. I don't get it. It's just not my. I don't know. Whatever.
You had to take it 3 times too?
Not really. It was not my forte.
I actually had to take it twice.
Did you?
Not my strong suit.
No. 4 Super Bowl ads. Homes.com. Do you think this will push them? Will the needle get closer to Zillow due to this spending? These 4 commercials coming out on Sunday night.
If they do it right,
Okay.
the Super Bowl is going to have a huge audience. I think if they run
Will it?
Yes, Nicholas.
Bold take again.
Bold take.
Sorry.
It's going to have a big audience.
Yes.
I think if they can engage, I mean, if they just totally fall on their face with their commercials, then they just wasted $1 billion. But if they hit a home run with their actual commercials, maybe have those QR codes on the
No,
screen,
that was a great commercial. I was just thinking that.
drive people to their site and get people searching, maybe they can start to turn the trend.
It said they have celebrity superstars lined up for the campaign, including Dan Levy, Heidi Gardner, and a few special guests. I don't know about you. I am not, Mr. Pop Culture by any stretch. I don't even know who they are. Who's Dan Levy and Heidi Gardner?
Schitt's Creek.
That's why I never
don't
watched
recognize them?
I never watched that show.
Oh, great show. You have to watch Schitt's Creek.
I tried once or twice, and I just
Love
couldn't
it.
get into it. Good
Love
stuff.
it. Nate Dogg's shaking it, nodding his head yes.
All right.
It's a good show.
I'll give it another shot.
You need to get into it.
Get past the first 4 episodes.
I get to like 1 or 2 episodes. I'm like, meh.
No, get with the times. Watch Schitt's Creek.
Okay. I'll give it a whirl.
It's an ad.
All right. 4 Super Bowl ads.
Homes.com over here.
Apparently, they're also going to be advertising during the Grammys, Oscars, March Madness, Olympics, NBA Finals, NLB, All Stars. What is NL? They mean MLB? little bit of typo on this, maybe. NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs, and more, all to help agents like us amplify demand for our listings and close more deals. That's the quote I'm reading here from Homes.com. What's your take on Homes.com? Your listing, your lead. Their whole concept of connecting the person directly with the listing agent.
I guess who is good for it depends on who you're looking at. I think listing agents will probably like it.
Let's talk about the consumer. Is it good for the consumer?
No.
They are-
Consumers,
Okay.
a lot of consumers will think yes, so I think it will work. But what I wish more consumers realized is that listing agent, they may have the info, but they can also share that info with a buyer's agent. The listing agent represents the seller. They're looking out for the seller's best interest. They're trying to sell the house. They're not looking out for the buyer on the other end of that line.
No, that listing agent has a fiduciary responsibility to the seller to get them the best possible price, terms, and conditions they can. They're not looking out for you. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to get a better deal going directly to the listing agent.
False.
You know who's getting a better deal? The agent's getting a better deal. That's who's getting a better deal. And, we here at the Slocum Home Team, big proponents of buyer agency, big proponents of having two agents, even if they're on the same team. I mean,
Yep.
at least that way, we've had plenty of transactions together where you're representing a buyer, I'm representing the seller, vice versa. And you can tell that client, Nick is out of his mind. I don't know what he's thinking about pricing here, yada, yada, yada.
I have.
Oh, yeah, you try to battle me even harder than other people do. That's for sure. So,
It's a sport. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That makes you want to win even more.
absolutely. So we recommend buyer agency and having somebody in your corner looking out for your best interests. So
Now, on that note, I do think Homes.com is going to gain share, and I think the industry could be trending in that direction.
For sure. So Zillow's still a top dog, no doubt about it. Zillow's actually Googled more often than Realtor, real estate is. So Zillow is now, whether you like it or not, synonymous with real estate. It's like
Yeah.
Kleenex.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's a tough uphill battle for Homes.com, but one thing they do have is cash to throw around.
That's for sure.
You've been to a couple of Homes.com's parties, or one. I've been to a couple.
Yeah.
What'd you make of
Good time.
the Google Dolls down there in Orlando? That was Orlando, right?
No, that was Anaheim. It
Oh, yep.
was a good time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Homes.com. That's what I'm going to say about that.
Let's see what the commercials bring.
All right, moving on. The gap in selling intentions between those with rates above and below 5% shrank at the end of 2023. So I did kind of allude to this in the earlier article from Realtor.com. I thought this was pretty interesting. I think this article, I just ran across it today. It came out on January 29th, so a while ago. January 29th. Shout out to my daughter, Lucy. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Lucy.
She turned 7 that day. Also, shout out to one of my best friends, Matthew Wisnowski. Turned 40 on that day. So it's a good day. January 29th is a good day.
One day before my wife.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 30th.
Very nice. 30th, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
30th of January, not 30 years old.
That's what I was going to say. She's that much younger than you? But all right. Anyway, plans to... I got a little confused there.
Anyways, tell us about this article.
All right. So this article, this actually just was looking at sellers who had plans to sell. This goes along with the lock-in effect.
Yeah. Big problem.
People who are apprehensive to make a move due to having an attractive interest rate. They feel like they're locked into their home. And this needle is moving, apparently. So the plans to sell gap between people who have a rate above 5% and below 5% is now almost identical. I believe it was 22 and 23%, if I'm not mistaken, of people. 22% for homeowners with rates below 5% and 23% for homeowners with rates above 5% plan to sell at some point in the near future.
That's big.
It's
Those
really
numbers
big.
are coming together.
They are coming together. There was a big gap before. It shrank, and let's see. Does it show what it was before?
I mean, we had people, right after COVID, people were buying or refining under 3, just over 3, and saying, I'm not giving up 3% for 5, 6, 7. But as we talked about, all those Ds, people need to buy and sell for a reason.
I think people are sick of waiting.
Tired of waiting. Yeah, they have to move.
It's like, I had another baby. I got a new job. This house just is not what I
Right.
want, where I want to live. It's time to move.
Yeah.
When our rates are coming down, God only knows, and then
Right.
I don't think they're coming down back to where they were
No.
maybe ever in our lifetime. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, all it will take is an absolute global financial crisis and a pandemic, and who knows where we end up. But
Let's hope we don't see that.
exactly, that would be nice to avoid again. So that's where they're at. So that gap is shrinking, and I think that's good news for the market here in the near future.
Absolutely.
Okay, there is the end of our industry news section. 6 interesting topics, or at least we thought so. Let's move on to wild card, Super Bowl prop bets.
Prop bets.
Prop
Love me some
bets.
prop bets.
So how do we want to handle this? You are up 1 on the bet. What are we betting for? Steak dinner, Capitol Grill, some hot wieners.
Do Capitol Grill.
All right, we should just knock off the Rhode Island
Probably.
staples with every bet, one by one.
All right.
All right. So if we go in the order of our list, I'm buying you hot wieners with coffee milk, and next one, depending on who wins, is some Rhode Island clam chowder.
I have an idea for a new video series here.
Yes.
So we went through this list and we asked each other overrated, underrated.
Mm-hmm.
We should go try them all and then do it again. See if they change our minds.
Let's do it. We're on it. All right. Schedule it up, Nate Dogg.
You and Nate Dogg?
2-1. I like that.
All right. Super Bowl prop bets. Number 1, I'll give you the first guess. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails never fails. How could you? All right. All right.
Talk to me Monday morning.
Okay. Color of the Gatorade poured on the winning coach.
I'm going to go with blue.
It's a good guess. I'm going to go purple.
Purple.
I
gonna be
actually,
blue.
in preparation for this podcast, because I do prepare, I like being prepared. Purple is the best odds. Actually, blue is second. So I think we both got good chances there. All right. Will there be an octopus?
So for starters here, I'm going to go with no.
Okay. Well, explain.
Maybe we should explain what an
Yes.
octopus is. So Nick and I were looking at some DraftKings recently.
We were at a Bruins game
Yeah.
and playing around the DraftKings app.
Yep, looking at a wild card weekend, I believe it was, and Nick was ready to throw some money down on an octopus, but we looked at each other and said, "What the hell is an octopus?" So after further research, it is when the same player
Yes.
scores the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
To get 8 points, like 8 arms, you know?
Right.
So there's the octopus.
Yeah,
for
see what
you,
they
right?
did there?
I did.
So will there be an octopus? Probably not. I'm going to say no, but glad we all learned what an octopus is.
I agree. I'm going to have to agree here and say no octopus. But anyway, there have not been many octopuses. We're both going with no on the octopus. All right. Next one. Will Taylor's boyfriend throw, kick, or give the ball to the crowd after the touchdown? Just so you know, this is even money. This is yes is minus 120. No is minus 120.
So you say after the touchdowns, you're assuming he's going to score a touchdown.
no, I typed after A. So if I said after the, well, yeah, I'm sorry.
So in your mind, you're
if
assuming
he doesn't
he's
score,
gonna
it's just no contest. It doesn't
Okay.
count. So
I'm gonna say yeah. I feel like he tends to.
he does that all the time. I was
He
hoping
loves celebrating himself. He's that kind of guy. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he's just gonna launch it.
Okay. Well, I would have said yes if you said no, but because you said yes, I'm going to take the opposite stance and say no,
All right.
and hope he just saves it for Taylor.
That
hands
that
it
breakup
off.
album is gonna be amazing.
I think
That's
they're
the
gonna get
one.
married.
No, the only good thing about this relationship is
Mm-hmm.
the breakup album is gonna be unbelievable.
Do you think when he proposes to Taylor, he should recite the words from Love Story on the album Fearless and just get down, and just give her back her lyrics and ask her to marry him?
I could see him doing that.
That would be pretty corny, but he might go with it. Will any player or coach cry during the national anthem?
100%.
100%. I'm going to go no on that too.
Wow.
That's a bad bet.
You're gonna lose, and you know it.
Remember Nick Sirianni to the Waterworks, man? They were just
Oh yeah,
coming
someone's
down.
crying.
All right, JT says yes. I'm gonna go yes too, just to. I'm gonna get killed here. You getting the first guess on every one of these. Primary color of Tay-Tay's top at the Super Bowl.
Red.
The Red's the leader in the club. Why do you? I mean, I'm just like buying you free food here.
Sounds good to me.
Red is the betting favorite, but I'm gonna go white.
White.
I'm gonna say she's gonna have a red accessory, but the primary color.
Listen to you, a red accessory. Who are you?
Who are we? I don't even know.
We?
anymore.
No. I'm not talking accessories over here.
I mean, have you ever seen the girl? She's got accessories up the wazoo.
All right, moving on.
All right. How many songs will Usher perform? Usher, what a terrible halftime show. How many songs?
just get
Over,
Tay-Tay out there.
under, 8, 5. I'm going to guess first because you keep taking all my guesses. I'm going over. I mean, how many Usher songs are there? What's the average length of an Usher song? 45 seconds? It's got to be over 8.5.
All right, I'll go under.
Does he have 8.5 hits?
I think it's going to be over. I agree, but I'll take the under.
Okay, NS over, JT under. Who wins the game?
Both of these last two make me want to throw up in my mouth, but I'm going to say Chiefs are going to win.
Oh,
I don't want them
taking
to.
KC too.
You can have them. I'll take the 49ers.
Okay, we need something to root
I don't
for.
like them. I don't want them.
All right, I'm taking the Chiefs. You got the 49ers MVP.
It's probably Mahomes.
Well, you just took the 49ers. You can't win MVP if the 49ers are going to win.
Fine, I'll go McCaffrey.
Okay, CMC, and I'll take Mahomes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just gave you those last two.
I really want that Rhode Island clam chowder. What's the password? New England clam chowder. All right, market update. What movie is that from, John?
I forget.
Is that the red or the white?
I can hear it. I forget the movie.
Ace Ventura. All right, let's look at a week over week market update. These numbers were ran on Thursday, February 8th. New listings over the last week, 192, down about 2.5%. This is a big red week, and this is not red good like Taylor Swift. This is red bad. Like everything was trending in the wrong direction this week. We had a couple of weeks of good positive stats before this, but last week was not stellar.
It's all right.
Active listings, 661, down almost 3%, 2.79, 661 as of last night. Under contract listings, 914. That's up 5.5% or so, approximately. These all numbers are for approximate measures. Sold listings, 407. That's down almost 7%. That's on a 30-day rolling basis. Median sales price about 431, 250. That also was a small dip, 2.54. That's on all sales over the last 30 days. Ran on February 8th. 30-year fixed rate, 6.97 as of last night. 10-year Treasury, 4.146. That was up 25.5 basis points.
Yep.
Let's look at some January numbers.
Can I just do a quick public service announcement here? Looking at these. I mean, you look at this, the under contract units are up. That's in line with mortgage applications being up. New listings down. Therefore, active listings followed because they're getting scooped up. And, that's why solds are down. So if you're a seller, if you're thinking about it, don't wait until spring. Take advantage of this.
Great color. Great color. Much better than Tony Romo right there. That was fantastic. We like the Madden and Summerall. Can you go BAM! 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 Under contract listings up. BAM!
We can put that in there.
All right.
Next time.
Greg Olson. You're a good color guy. Good color guy.
Thank you.
All right, month over month stats. So this is looking at January numbers of 2024 versus January of 2023. Rhode Island, single family new listings up 3.64%. Bam!
Bam!
All right, that's good news. More listings on the market. 684 up 3.64%. Total sales continues trending down a little over 6%. 441 single family sales as of today reported during the month of January. That is the lowest number of sales during that month any year going back to 2014.
Yeah. Wow.
Everything I said about the great color, I take it back.
Well, I was trying to catch up and see where you were, and then I was looking. Last year was the lowest, and we're below that.
Have you found?
I did. I found where you were.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I was trying to catch up there.
No, appreciate that. Look at this number. This is absolutely bonkers. Average sales price in January for single-family homes across the entire state of Rhode Island, just over $609,500.
That's bananas.
$609,500.
It's more than doubled in the last decade.
That's up almost 18%. Whew, crazy. 2018, it was 312. It was crazy. Median sales price, 441, up over 13%.
Yeah.
Median sales price for reference back in 2014.
194.9.
Yes, that wasn't that long ago.
No, not at all.
We sound like old men now. Average price per square foot, $356.
Shot up quite a bit too.
It did, almost 16%. Homes still selling about 99% of their asking price. So let's take a couple. We won't go through line by line the rest of this, John. Let's, I'm sure people are nowhere near as interested in these numbers that we are, but we'll share the data nonetheless.
I would do some rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Kent County single family homes where we're based out of. We sell throughout the state of Rhode Island, southeastern Mass, and eastern Connecticut, but we are domiciled in Kent County, Rhode Island. New listings up over 18.5%. That's nice. Total sales down about 3. Average sales price here in Kent County about $435 and change, about a 9.5% increase. Warwick single families, where our home is located, a number 2 spot to live in New England, by the way. 71 new listings in the month of January. That's up almost 3%. Total sales down about 7.5%. Feel free to cut me off anytime.
Wowzers. Yeah, I'm going to jump in. Give me a break.
Thanks. Average sales price about $435, up over 13%. Median sales price in Warwick, $410, up over 19% year over year.
Wowzers.
Wowzers is right.
Rhode Island multifamilies, new listings up over 10%, 10.5%. Average sales price up 23%. Average sales price of a multifamily $535. The median at $475. The average price per squid.
Squid? Price per squid? Get the calamari on your mind or what?
Price per square foot, $200, up 41.84%.
That's weird. I got to double check those numbers.
Double check your numbers there, guy.
That's a big jump.
That's ridiculous.
These numbers are deemed reliable but not guaranteed.
And, in Rhode Island condos, new listings down.
Yeah, a lot of red on this condo chart, huh?
Total sales down over 7%. The average sales price down almost 11% on condos, $375. The median is up 1.5% at $325.
Thank you for those numbers. All right. Because I have to get that. I got to get the hell out of here and go to an appointment. I got a listing appointment here in 33 minutes. And it is on the other side of the city. Takes a little while to get there.
Number 2 city in the Northeast.
Number 2 city in the Northeast.
Not New England.
Rate this podcast, John.
I think we had some great moments. I think we had to pause working out all the new gear here, but I thought we did pretty good. I'll give it a 7.4.
Do we recall the ratings from last week?
No.
Or not last week.
I don't think I gave it a
basis yet.
I don't think I gave it a 7. If I did, it was like an even 7.
7.6, I think, right?
Oh, that's
7.
right. Nick gave it a 7.6. I gave it a 6.7.
I think this episode was much better than the first episode. I think we're getting into the groove of this. Things are starting to feel it out. You actually prepared this time.
You going over 7.4?
No, I wouldn't have gone this high other than the fact I gave it a 7.6 last week. So I'm going to go 7.7. So I'm going to go 7.7.
So, yes, you are going over 7.4.
I thought you said 7.6.
No, I said 7.4. I said, you going over that? You said no.
I thought you meant going over what I wasn't really listening to. I was just thinking in my brain. I was going over what I rated it last time.
So yes to both.
Yes. So I was 7.7. You're 7.4. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
All right. Drop in the comments what you think. No holds barred. Let us know. And we'll go from there. Thanks for tuning in to Shootin The SHT. I am Nick Slocum, and I am with
John Tetrault. We will see you next time.
Appreciate it. Well, I don't know why I clapped.
What a weird.
That's a wrap.
Subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. And if you enjoyed this content, please share it with others and leave us a rating and a review. Buying, selling, or want to connect with Nick and JT? Visit Slocum Home Team on Facebook and Instagram or slocumhometeam.com. We'll see you next time.